On a cold night in late December, the military camp was filled with a warm atmosphere ahead of Kim Taehyung's birthday, affectionately known as V. All the members were busy preparing for a simple celebration in between their busy schedules. However, Jungkook, the magne, seemed a little more mysterious that night. He was busy with his own plans, making sure the gift he had prepared for Taehyung would be something unforgettable. Jungkook was satisfied with his choice after leaving the art shop. However, he realized that the gift was not quite perfect. He decided to make the moment of the gift-giving even more special. The walls of his room were filled with local paintings, and in the corner of the room, a violinist was playing a soft melody. There, Jungkook got the idea to organize a little surprise. He talked to his friends and booked the corner of the room for the night. He also requested that the violinist play Taehyung's favorite song. With his friends' approval, Jungkook decided to decorate the corner with small candles and a bouquet of white lilies, Taehyung's favorite flowers. Once everything was arranged, Jungkook returned to the room with a secretive expression. Throughout the afternoon, he pretended to be busy with other activities, making sure Taehyung didn't get suspicious. As night fell, Jungkook casually invited Taehyung for a simple dinner. Taehyung, who was initially reluctant due to feeling tired, eventually agreed after seeing the excitement in Jungkook's eyes. After getting the grand prize, Jungkook didn't stop there. He also visited an antique shop in search of something more personalized. There, he found an ancient music box that played classical melodies, something he thought would bring Taehyung peace. With a satisfied smile, she went back to her room to prepare everything. Later that evening, a small celebration began. The dorm living room was decorated with balloons, twinkling lights, and a large birthday cake with the words, "Happy Birthday, Taehyung." All the members were present, sharing laughs and memories, while Taehyung looked very happy with the attention he was receiving. However, Jungkook seemed to be waiting for the right moment. When the clock struck 12 p.m., Jungkook stood up and asked for everyone's attention. Carrying a neatly wrapped gift, he approached Taehyung with a big smile. "Hyung, this is a present from me. I hope you like it." Taehyung unwrapped the first one, revealing an antique music box. As the soft melody began to sound, Taehyung's eyes lit up. "It's beautiful, Jungkook. Thank you so much." However, Jungkook wasn't done yet. He handed over the second gift, a special set of painting tools and canvas. Taehyung was almost lost for words. "Jungkook, this is amazing. You know, I really like painting." "Thank you, I really appreciate it." Jungkook smiled embarrassedly. "I know art is how you express yourself, so I want to support that. I hope you can paint something special this year." Taehyung stood up and hugged Jungkook tightly. "You're really considerate. Thank you for always being there for me." After Taehyung finished playing his music box melody on the guitar, he looked at Jungkook with sparkling eyes. "I've never felt this creative before," he said with a big smile. Jungkook just chuckled, feeling that the night was absolutely perfect. While sitting in the corner of the room, Taehyung suddenly had an idea. "How about we paint something together? I want this night to be immortalized, not just in memory, but also on canvas." Jungkook was surprised, but enthusiastic. "I can't really paint, but I'll try," he replied, a little awkwardly. With the owner's approval, they got permission to use one of the large tables in the corner as a painting station. Taehyung took out the supplies that Jungkook had just given him and started mixing colors with excitement. Taehyung started with soft strokes, depicting the atmosphere in the room with small candles and a violinist in the background. Jungkook tried to follow suit, although his lines weren't very neat. They laughed every time Jungkook made a mistake, and Taehyung patiently helped him improve. "It's harder than it looks," Jungkook muttered with a frown. "It's not the result that matters, it's the process," Taehyung replied with a comforting smile. "And seeing you try like this is enough for me." As the painting neared completion, Taehyung picked up a small brush and added the final detail. Two small figures standing in the center of the room, surrounded by candlelight. "This is us," he said with a proud smile. Jungkook was silent for a moment, admiring their work. "You made everything look so alive," he said in an admiring tone. When the painting was finished, they decided to leave it in the room as a memento of the night. The cafe owner happily agreed to display it on one of the walls, giving the work a name, The Night We Painted Together. Before they left, Taehyung took Jungkook's hand. "Thank you for making this night so meaningful. I'll never forget it." Jungkook smiled warmly. "Me too. You know, you always inspire me to try new things." When they arrived at the dorm, the atmosphere was already warm with laughter and chatter from the other members. The room was full of simple yet loving decorations, balloons in Taehyung's favorite colors, a small banner that read "Happy Birthday, V," and a table full of snacks, cookies, and drinks that they had prepared together. Taehyung smiled widely as he entered the room. "You guys really went the extra mile for me." "Huh?" he said with sparkling eyes. "Of course," Jimin replied as he patted him on the shoulder. "You're one of the reasons we all feel like family." They all sat in a circle in the living room, each bringing their favorite food. Funny stories from their trainee days flowed, making them all laugh until their stomachs hurt. Jin, as usual, was the loudest with his jokes, while Namjoon tried to calm the excessive laughter while slipping in wise words about the importance of friendship and gratitude. As the clock struck midnight, Jungkook stood up to give a short speech. "I know it's Taehyung's birthday, but I want to say something for all of us," he said, his voice shaking slightly with nerves. "Today I learned that happiness isn't always about big gifts or grand surprises, but about small moments like this, about how we care and support each other." He turned to Taehyung, who looked at him with a warm smile. "Hyung, I'm glad I could make you happy today, but the truth is, I'm the luckiest one for having a family like all of you." A moment of silence filled the room before it was followed by applause and cheers from the other members. Taehyung stood up, hugging Jungkook tightly. "You always know how to make me feel special." "Thank you, Jungkook." That night, after the food was gone and the laughter had died down, they all sat together, looking up at the night sky through the large windows in the living room. The sky remained filled with stars, as if symbolizing their dreams and hopes that were still shining. "Taehyung, what are your hopes for this year?" asked Hoseok, breaking the silence. Taehyung smiled as he looked up at the stars. "I'm not asking for much. I just hope we all stay together, support each other, and live our dreams together like this. That's enough." They all agreed with a nod, their eyes radiating mutual understanding. The night ended with a warm hug and a promise in their hearts to keep them together. For Taehyung, it wasn't just a birthday, it was a reminder that love and care from those closest to you are the best gifts in life. For Jungkook, seeing Taehyung smile was the pinnacle of his happiness, a reminder that small, sincere efforts can create great joy. As the living room grew quiet, they all eventually fell asleep on the sofa and floor, surrounded by laughter and warmth, like the stars that continued to shine that night.